Heart disease remains the #1 cause of death in the U.S., more than all cancers combined.
And with today's technology, artificial intelligence is now being used to detect heart disease. And here now to speak about the new CT heart scan is cardiologist and director of cardiac CT at ImageOne, Dr. Milind Parikh. Thank you so much for being here, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Phil, for having me. Thank you.
So despite all the advances in care, 1 in every 5 Americans still die from heart disease every year. Is this preventable?
Yeah, it's a staggering fact, but you know, luckily it is preventable. Really, 90% of heart disease is preventable. The issue has been for the longest time is that heart attacks happen with no, there's no pre-warning, you know, and so 50% of patients who have a heart attack have no symptoms prior to their heart attack. It happens suddenly out of the blue, and so. The problem has been is that we haven't been able to find these patients who actually have high-risk plaque in their heart that actually causes these heart attacks. And so we have not been able to catch these early. But if we catch it early and we detect this plaque early, we can stop heart attacks from happening.
So enter new cardiac imaging technology, which is what you guys have been developing. Talk to us about how this works.
Yeah, it's a very, honestly, simple procedure. It's a CT scan of your heart. And we've made the process very seamless here at ImageOne, where you pretty much, you get an IV, you get a little medicine, and you get a dose of contrast, and within 2.75 seconds, you get this incredible 3-dimensional image of your heart, where you can see all of your coronary arteries, where the plaques build up and where heart attacks happen. Now, what we know and understand is that this process of building a plaque in your heart takes years and years and years. I always say the heart attack that happens at 60 starts at 40 or maybe even sooner. But what we find is that if we can detect these plaques early, then we can actually stop them from ever progressing and causing heart attacks.
So how is AI helping in heart disease prevention? How's that?
So AI is incredible because it's been able to actually help us not just detect the plaque, but it can tell us the different types of plaque. And different types of plaque in the heart actually are actually what I need to know as a doctor, what actually is increasing your risk of having heart attacks. So if you have this soft plaque or hard plaque, it actually helps us understand whether or not you're really at risk of having a heart attack. AI can help us quantify that and tell us exactly how much of that you have, and actually can help us track that over time.
Okay, and so that's why that CT heart scan also it helps develop that personalized care.
Yes, I mean, I think for the longest time we've been treating patients by looking at different surrogate markers. We look at whether you have high cholesterol, high blood sugar, high blood pressure and things, and we say, okay, you're probably at risk of having a heart attack. But the reality is that now we can look for the actual disease in your heart, and we can find if you have those plaque buildups in your heart, and we can personalize therapy to that. So just, you know, I have multiple patients, for example, who have high cholesterol, but they have no plaque in their heart, and they might be 60, 70 years old. So their risk of having a heart attack may not be as high as what we think. So we can actually de-escalate therapy and personalize therapy.
Doctor, let's take a look at some stats that we have here. 50% of people who suffer a heart attack do so without experiencing any symptoms. 70% of heart attack victims are considered low risk by traditional methods of assessing heart disease. 75% of lesions that are responsible for heart attacks only cause mild narrowing of the arteries and are missed by conventional stress testing. But with AI, it really puts the odds more in your favor. Is that really a fair assessment?
Definitely. I mean, I think AI can help us, like I said, it can find these plaques early. If we detect them early, we can stop them from progressing, we can track it, and then we can personalize therapy to help understand whether or not you're responding to it.
Wow. So say you're at home right now and they're saying, okay, ImageOne, I want to get this type of CT scan of my heart. Yeah. Where do they go to get this done?
Yeah, I mean, they can go, you know, we have our centers in Kearny Mesa, but they can go to our website, ctheartscan.com, and you can, you know, look at everything we have there and book a scan. It's as simple as making a phone call.
Sure is. Okay, Dr. Parikh, thank you so much for being here today. And of course, if you'd like to know more about it, we just talked about that. We have the information also on our website at fox5sandiego.com. Just click on the Scene On tab. Fascinating stuff.
Thank you.